Right now, Madison police officers hurt in a crash. All that authorities are sharing at this time. Also, protesters head to Dairy Drive to try and keep the homeless encampment open. And we head to the Duck Pond as our Nash Dara brings us the sights and sounds of the inaugural True North Festival. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. We continue to follow breaking news. As of right now, an officer has serious injuries after being involved in a squad car crash. Madison Police Department says the officer is in stable condition. The officer was hit after helping a local agency. MPD did not confirm exactly where this happened. They shared with us it was south of the Beltline. But Monona Police Department say they will have an update on the situation. News 3 Now was not confirming the gender or name of the officer out of respect for the family, as they have requested privacy at this time. This is a developing news story, so we will continue to follow and give you all the latest. Be sure to download the News 3 Now mobile app on the app store of your choosing for updates. Now we turn to some developing news out of Rock County as a SWAT team was activated early Saturday after a man allegedly armed himself with a knife at a commuter lot in Newville. Several agencies responded to North Agodi Road at 1 a.m. The sheriff's office said the man had an active felony arrest warrant, and attempts to contact him were initially unsuccessful as he refused to leave his vehicle. After several hours, the man was eventually taken into custody. The sheriff's office say in addition to the warrant, the man will face new criminal charges from this incident and will appear in jail court at a separate date. Now let's go ahead and get a look at your first one forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington, who joins us this weekend.
Howdy.
Alex, what should we expect as we head into the later parts of the evening?
We are continuation of these summer-like temperatures, although we have one cool little bit, and that's tonight. After tonight's cool temperatures, we're right back up into that summer-like pattern. 78 on Sunday, low 80s Monday and Tuesday, low 80s to end the week. And as I've been kind of looking at this graphic, on the outside and the inside between the 80s, we got upper 70s, and these are temperatures you would see in August, not temperatures that are common for the latter part of September going into October. Even now at 10 o'clock at night, 64 in Madison, 70 in Janesville and in Monroe. The normal high is right around 70 for this time of year, but look off to the northwest. 53 in Camp Douglas, 44 in Black River Falls. We're going to have a cold front that comes through southern Wisconsin as we go through tonight here. So these temperatures in the low to mid to upper 60s right now in Madison, they're going to go down for this evening, but it's just for one night. Tonight, lows right around 50 is part of the three things you need to know. Staying warm all the way through next week, as you just saw. And to give you a little bit of optimistic, Alex, there's some increasing rain chances perhaps by later next weekend. I'll let you know what the percent of that and the extent of that chance of rain is when I come back here in about, 10 minutes. We'll talk a little bit more about that then.
All right, sounds good, Alex. We'll see you then. Today, dozens of people met to protest the city of Madison's vote on the Dairy Drive homeless encampment. About 20 people will be displaced after the city decided they will not renew the contract at the campsite today. And roughly 30 people had a protest to speak out against this decision. They met outside the encampment to make T-shirts and tote bags that they will then wear at Tuesday's city council meeting for a silent protest. Residents asked to move out of the Dairy Drive as of yesterday. News 3 Now did see people still at the encampment Saturday afternoon.
It's also still pretty scary. Some people were able to stay here last night. Police action isn't supposed to be implemented as trespassing until Wednesday, but it's very hard for people to secure housing and move out with such short notice. So we're mostly making sure people get fed and water and make sure everyone's healthy and safe and know the community's not leaving them behind.
Again, community members do plan to protest again at the city council meeting this upcoming Tuesday. Public Health Madison-Dane County is issuing an overdose spike alert. Health officials say EMS responded to 5 confirmed overdoses this week. It's still unclear what's behind the spike. They say the makeup of street drugs may have changed, possibly including opiates, fentanyl, or other synthetics. Officials are urging people who use drugs or someone who uses them to carry Narcan as well. Fentanyl test strips are also available at Public Health Madison and Dane County's East Washington and Park Street locations. Public Health also wants to remind you of the warning signs of an overdose. This includes pale, sweaty, and clammy skin, lips or fingertips turning blue, slow or irregular breathing, as well as difficulty or inability to wake up. The Behavioral Health Resource Center is available for treatment and recovery. UW Health is expanding its support for student athletes right here in Madison. They are now working at the 4 public Madison high schools, helping students develop long-term athletic skills and healthy habits. That includes West, Memorial, and East, with plans to expand to La Follette in November. At West, Rimerick Satoji spends afternoons guiding athletes through warm-ups, speed drills, and strength training.
I had a couple athletes, football players, come up to me telling me how they feel much stronger and they felt like they were able to sustain every drive throughout the entire game because I worked with them for the past 2 years.
He added that their efforts for students do not focus on any specific season or sport, but to support physical fitness and lifelong results. A beloved Madison figure is celebrating their 85th birthday. Today, across parts of downtown Madison, Madisonians gathered for Bucky's birthday bash. The event featured a parade down State Street, a party at the Terrace, and a release of a Bucky-themed ice cream flavor.
Athletics' first time ever celebrating in this scale for Bucky's birthday, and so we saw 85 years, and it's 85 years of push-ups and 85 years of smiles and laughs, and so we wanted to really bring Bucky into the community and go all out for his 85th birthday. We think he's the best mascot in the nation, obviously, and so we really just wanted to get him in the community and have the community receive the love.
The next Bucky birthday bash is Thursday, October 2nd at the Badger women's volleyball game. Food, music, clothing, art, those are just a few things that make up a culture. And those were all celebrated today at the 6th annual Sun Prairie Multicultural Fair. Sheehan Park for the day was home to cultural dances, cuisine, and more.
Sun Prairie and Wisconsin and Madison area in general has a very large Hmong population. Right behind you, we've got one of our vendors who are selling drums and woven baskets. From Africa, and then we've also got food vendors who are selling a variety of food. One of our vendors is Cafe Costa Rica, so selling Costa Rican food from his heritage.
The event's goal is to create an inclusive atmosphere for all backgrounds. Now, you may have heard lots about it leading up to it, but the True North Festival is here, featuring some of the best food and music in southern Wisconsin. News 3 Now's Nash Dara joins us now with the sights and sounds from the festival.
I am here at the Duck Pond at the north side of Madison, where usually you'd be here to watch a baseball or softball game, but today there is a special event that is a bit different. Today Warner Park is hosting the first ever True North Festival. The event on Saturday is the place to be. The baseball diamond features a giant stage surrounded by some great local food from Madison. Then on the concourse, right as you enter, you can find some local artists as well as some areas for the kids to hang out.
We feel very grateful and joyful that we're here today, and there's an 80-degree perfect night, and we're here to party and have a great time.
Co-founder of the event, Matt Girding, has been working on making this festival a reality for months, and he is stoked to see it has finally come to life.
All the bands have all been promoting, and there hasn't been a festival like this on the north side ever, and so we're really excited to bring a little bit of festival love over here.
And all the shops in the area want to be a part of that love.
We're very much into supporting community, and that's why this kind of event is so wonderful, because there's so many different businesses that are going to be profiting within our community from this event, and we're just really happy to be a part of it.
At the Duck Pond, Nash Dara, News 3 Now.
Nash, thank you. And coming up next on News 3 Now at 10, Alex Harrington returns with a complete look of your first one forecast. And the president announced Saturday he's sending federal troops to Portland, Oregon. We hear from state leaders. Plus, he's also calling for one of the heads of Microsoft to step down. Why that is after the break.
Our fall-like forecast. Technically it's fall, but it's all summer-like here besides tonight. Clear with a low right around 50. Then we go right back into that warm stuff all the way through next week. And the perpetual optimist Alex, if I can get my words out here, has some updated rain chances perhaps as early as next week. And those are the three things you need to get out of that forecast as we move forward. So let's take a peek here at that temperature ride, so to speak, roller coaster ride here between 84 Monday, 83 rather on Tuesday, then back up to 81 and 83 towards the end of the week, and nestled in between and outside the 80s, we've got upper 70s. You'd think that this was August-like weather. Nope, it's the end of September. Unfortunately, I don't have any rain for the next 7 days, but that will change when I show you the 10-day forecast. So a warm and another extended period of dry weather. Remember, there's two parts to this coin here that I've mentioned in southern Wisconsin. The farmers, they appreciate the dry weather because that's good for the soybeans and corn, dries it out, it speeds along the harvest, but we do need those raindrops for the soil in the watershed. Tonight, though, a little bit cooler to the north and west. It's at 50 in Madison, 55 in Janesville, contrast to 42 in Camp Douglas as a cold front comes through the area. But that cold front's going to be replaced with temperatures that are just going to swing right back up into the 70s to near 80 with sunny skies as we go into Sunday, and then that extended period of warm weather right after that one. Rain, again, normal for the month. We should have about 3 inches in our rain gauge in Madison, and we're down by about 1 inch and 7/10. And for the year now, we're down by 1 inch here. So we need to start getting some of these raindrops to get it back into the forecast. And that will eventually change here a little bit later, but not for about the first 7 days here. Warm and staying dry. Then we have 50s to right around 60 by nighttime. That 150-degree low temperature is going to be awfully warm. That's just a misprint. That should be temperatures right around 50. As we look a little bit further out into the future, I was standing in front of it. Here's that optimism Monday going on into Tuesday, about a 30 to 40% coverage of a weather system that will start to break down, I think, the overall pattern. This is still, again, a little bit past 10 days out. Until then, and even beyond, we're going to stay warm, but we're going to increase just a little bit those rain chances here from Madison areas off towards the north and towards the west up in the northern plains. So that's a better news here as we move hopefully towards a little bit more of a wet pattern. Now, even though it's very summer-like, this is still stellar weather. Take the roads up to the north here. We're already getting some fall pictures from some of our viewers who get some of our signals and also who watch our online options from northern Wisconsin, where they're getting some patchy to near peak fall colors, and eventually that will spread further and further to the south. It's usually not till mid to later October where our colors will peak here in southern Wisconsin. So we have a ways to go. If you have any family or friends that are along the East Coast, and I'm sure there are folks in southern Wisconsin that have family and friends along the East Coast, are keeping such a close eye on the tropics. I have good news, at least tonight, for Hurricane Humberto, which is a formidable Category 5 storm right now with winds 160 miles per hour. As we put this into motion here, look, as we go out into the future, eventually goes back out to sea, and that's certainly good news. So that's weather system number 1. Then tropical depression number 9 eventually may turn into a tropical system that we need to keep an eye on. But the latest projections here also taking that weather system out to sea. We could be having some heavy rainfall, some high surf along the Carolinas, but this, fingers crossed here, is good news. But we'll keep a very close eye on both tropical weather systems. And we got to end here with a viewer photo from Verona here. Look at this. Tyler sending us this very pretty photo here from Verona. We got the moon here, and all you have to do is just scan that QR code. If you're at home right now, get your phone out, scan the QR code, and then you can send us your weather pictures to our library of weather pictures here in southern Wisconsin, and then we'll try to get some of those weather pictures on air. So beautiful photo here to end our Saturday evening, and thanks again, Tyler, for sending us that wonderful picture. Jalen?
Alex, thank you. Just give me 1 second here as I fix the prompter. All righty. The president announced Saturday that he's sending federal troops into Portland, Oregon, a city he describes as war-ravaged. Oregon officials say the troops are unnecessary. CBS News' Willie James Inman has more.
President Trump on Saturday ordered the deployment of troops to Portland, Oregon, a city he called war-ravaged. In a post on Truth Social, the president said he's directed Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to provide all necessary troops to protect Portland and its ICE facilities. The president's post comes 3 days after a gunman opened fire on an ICE facility in Dallas, killing 1 and critically injuring 2 others, and after a series of anti-ICE protests in Portland. The governor of Oregon, along with local leaders, including Portland's mayor, held a news conference responding to the president's announcement.
In my conversations directly with President Trump and Secretary Noem, I have been abundantly clear with them that Portland and the state of Oregon believe in the rule of law and we can manage our own local public safety needs.
The number of necessary troops is 0 in Portland and any other American city.
The president's plan for Portland comes as Memphis, Tennessee prepares for a National Guard troop deployment on Monday as part of the president's crackdown on crime. For weeks, the Trump administration has been threatening to mobilize federal law enforcement agents to sanctuary cities or cities it deems crime-ridden.
So we're going to send the boots on the ground to the places that we know there's a problem.
The White House insists the deployment of federal troops are a help, not a hindrance, with President Trump touting the D.C. takeover leading to increased arrest numbers and reduced violent crime. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
Video game giant Electronic Arts is reportedly in talks to go private. The Wall Street Journal, citing sources, is reporting the deal would be valued at about $50 billion. That would make it the largest leveraged buyout in history. According to the Journal, Jared Kushner's private equity firm would be among the investors. Kushner is President Trump's son-in-law. The Journal is reporting a deal could be announced as soon as next week. Electronic Arts is behind the franchises of Madden, The Sims, FIFA, and more. President Donald Trump is calling on Microsoft to fire one of its top executives. Lisa Monaco served as Deputy Attorney General in the Biden administration and was recently hired by Microsoft as President of Global Affairs. In a social media post Friday, President Trump called Monaco a menace to U.S. national security and cited the major contracts that Microsoft has with the government. The post ended with Trump saying that, in his opinion, Microsoft should terminate her. The move follows Trump's pattern of publicly targeting perceived political enemies and comes one day after former FBI Director James Comey's indictment. There was no immediate response from Microsoft. The United States is revoking a visitor's visa granted to Colombia's President Gustavo Petro. The move comes after Petro appeared in New York at a pro-Palestinian rally where he encouraged protest. CBS's Haley Ott is at our London bureau and is tracking the latest developments.
More destruction in Gaza City, where every day is deadly. Over 300,000 people have fled Israel's assault here, but up to 700,000 remain, many who can't afford to leave. Around them, buildings turned to rubble, including this one, sheltering displaced people. Among those killed, a 9-year-old girl. What did this girl do? 9 years old, she should be in school pursuing her dreams, this young man says. They ruined all this. There's no life here anymore. Enough. We're tired. Where is the world? In New York this week, defiance from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. His message, Israel's mission inside Gaza isn't done.
The final remnants of Hamas are holed up in Gaza City. They vow to repeat the atrocities of October 7th again and again and again, no matter how diminished their forces. That is why Israel must finish the job.
Himself accused of war crimes, his country of genocide. Netanyahu spoke to a half-empty room after dozens of delegates walked out over Israel's war in Gaza, which has killed over 65,000 people, according to the Hamas-run Ministry of Health. And prominent U.S. allies like the UK, France, Canada, and Australia formally recognized a Palestinian state, joining over 150 other nations.
It will be a mark of shame on all of you.
President Trump expressed optimism this week about being close to a potential ceasefire in Gaza, saying Friday it was, quote, looking like we have a deal. But we've heard rumblings of ceasefires being close before, and close is different from agreed. Haley Ott, CBS News, London.
And coming up next on News 3 Now at 10, the Badger women's hockey team is back in action. See how the defending national champs fared. Wisconsin football is on a bye week this weekend, preparing for a rigorous Big Ten slate. In this week's Wisconsin Huddle, Sports Director Andrew Banstra found out what gives the Badgers the best chance to reset.
What does a bye week maybe change in terms of how you differ your preparation, and kind of, do you get more time to chill? I mean, in my mind, you get time to just lay down, watch some TikToks, I don't know, whatever it is you like to do, play some cornhole maybe.
Right. No
yeah.
doubt. You get some time off, yeah, especially after the game. You get 2 days off. I mean, 1 day's off, the next day's meetings and all that, but it's an off day for us. Yeah, I mean, really for the older guys, kind of trying to take care of our bodies a little bit, letting the older guy or the younger guys get some more reps, put some miles on their legs a little bit. But we practice just as hard, and then but we cut it down. So then Friday, Saturday we'll have off. Sunday we'll come in for meetings, and then Monday starts the work week again.
And when you're looking ahead to that schedule in October, it's one of the toughest in the country, and you guys knew that coming in. Do you even think about that slate, or kind of is it more about just getting better at the things that you guys do best? How do you maybe think about that month of October?
Yeah, I mean, if we don't focus on what we do best and what we got to improve on, I mean, that stretch doesn't mean nothing. You know what I mean? So we got to worry about where we are now, what we got to fix now, and then once that stretch comes, we'll be there.
And join Andrew for next week's Wisconsin Huddle, live at Jay's Bar in Madison on Monday at 7 p.m., featuring a new co-host, Wisconsin Volleyball's Jada Cherneckel-Yu. The defending women's hockey national champs are back in action today. The Badger women taking on the Beavers of Bemidji State. Bucky starts off hot, scoring 3 goals in the first period, and this rebound goal from Cassie Hall in the dying seconds of the first half would give the Badgers momentum heading into intermission. We now skip to the third period, where Kirsten Sims has this nice wrist shot off the left hand to go up 5-0. The Badgers start 2-0 and head home to play Maine in their season opener. Badgers go on to win it 5-0. And despite a less than desirable loss today against the Reds, there's still some good news for the Brewers today. With a loss from the Phillies, the Brewers now clinch the 1 seed in the NL. That's it for sports. A final check of your first one forecast is coming up when we return. Thank you for staying with us. So, Alex, it's a little bit warmer than usual.
Yeah.
So, as for tonight, do we turn on the AC or do we just let the windows open? What do we do here?
You might want to let the windows open tonight, because we're going to get down to 50 tonight. If that's not too chilly for you, you just might need an extra blanket. But we're back up to Jalen to 78 on Sunday, well into the 80s Monday and Tuesday, and then upper 70s, lower 80s, really through the entire 10-day forecast. I know we were joking around just before the commercial ended there that we'd come in here saying, hey, it's the end of July. No, it's not. It's the end of September, going into early October, and Friday's an important day for you, correct?
It is. It is. I'm happy it's some nice weather because it is my birthday. I don't want to have to wear a rain jacket or be cold.
Nope.
Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice warm day and staying warmer, going clear out into October.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you, Alex. Seinfeld is up next. We'll see you back here tomorrow.